Okay, here's just some questions on using regression in decimals to help you find a function. So this one, I tried this one, and when you look at the graph here on the right, I got a function that is really quite crazy. Oh, all went away. Anyway, the amplitude was like something times 10 to the 10th, and I'm not sure if my decimals was going funny or if that's just sort of how things worked. I probably need to give more of a curve on that. Anyway, that hopefully will be a little bit better. So it talks about average temperature for Vulcan, Alberta. So I'm just going to input the data in quick. I thought I had it inputted already. I'm going to pause and then I'll come back. Okay, I got all my data in. So once I have the data in, then down below here, I'm going to type in my formula, y1 tilde a sine bx1 minus c over b, couple brackets, plus d. Okay, now by default, right below there, they tell you what the values for a, b, c, and d are. And if you notice up above here, I've got that written out already. So there's the function as it sits. If they want to know the period, it's always 2 pi over b. There's b, so 2 pi over that 0.6389. What is the vertical translation? That's always what the d is. But we can ask some other questions too, like in the future, what is the average temperature going to be? And I'd assume that each month is going to be similar, like next May is going to be close to this number. But let's see if using our function, if we get something similar. So to figure out what next May would be, I have to figure out what number that would be. So I'm setting January at 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 12. So next January, February, March, April, May. So the next January would be 13. This would be 14, 15, 16, 17. So my X value would be 17. So I want to know when um, or what the average temperature will be when X is 17. So I can do that in decimals. If I go back into here, right now I can't see any of my function. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So I can see the data going. And I think that was my problem with the title one, that I didn't give a whole period. And so it was using some huge numbers to try and make a perfect curve. Okay, so there's my curve, and I want to know when x is 17. So if I go over here and x is 17, it's up in there somewhere. I'm just pressing my finger on there, but it'd be up in there somewhere. But it's easier just to go down here and type x equals 17, and then tap on that spot where the line x equals 17 crosses my curve. So that point there, so when x is 17, then y is 75.2, call it. And that's the temperature. You compare with, that's interesting how that's quite a bit different than what I would have thought. When you compare with this May, that May is quite a bit different. So, and I might call into question my actual function to see if that's correct. What else was I going to say? Oh, another thing you could do is you could say, well, what happens at what month do you expect the average temperature to be a certain number? So, what month? So I'm looking for X. So what is X when Y is, say, I'll pick a number in there somewhere. How about 60? So I could do the same thing in decimals. I could just come on here. Yeah, down here, instead of x equals 17, I could type y is equal to whatever y I'm thinking. So there's my y is equal to 60. And when I look in at the graph there, it looks like it hits it right there. There. So at the fifth month, so about May. And then it hits it again right there, so September. And then it hits it again at month 4, almost 15. So what would that be? Oh, that would be March, right up there. Okay, I'm hoping that that'll help you with trying to find some information from the graph. And it's basically if they want you to extend or extrapolate, find some information from later, you just sort of follow the same pattern as you had. So the months are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. up to 12. If they want something past that, you just start adding numbers in a logical kind of sequence. Oh, the other thing I was going to say too, if they say if x is 17, what is y? You can do it like I did here on the graph over there, but you could also plug that 17 in right there. So if you type that into the function, so type that whole thing out and put a 17 where x goes, it should give you that same number. All right, hopefully that's helping to try and find those questions where they're having you extrapolate, prophesy numbers in the future.